Hi, good morning, everybody. Oh, thank you. Let me make sure that I'm not jumping the gun here. We're good. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dawn Mountain. My name is Jason Cox. I'm one of the students here that rotate for leading the Sunday meditation. Our primary teachers here are Ann Klein and Harvey Aronson. They teach in person on the first Sunday of every month, as well as every other Tuesday for our Teaching Tuesdays. The practice we're going to do today is a pretty simple meditation. It'll be in two parts. The first part will be focusing on our breath. We'll be experiencing what it's like to breathe. And in the second part, we will do a chant together where we will say the syllable whom twice in one breath. So something like whom, and you can do this at your own pace and pitch. And this particular practice of alternating these two meditations is suggested to us by our guiding teacher in Tibet, Adzom Rinpoche. We'll take a little break in the middle of those meditations and we'll read briefly from Comfortable with Uncertainty. We'll close by dedicating the merit to all living beings and especially to those that are in the prayer book. Everyone online can feel free to send any names they'd like to the chat, and our moderators will make sure those get in the prayer book. Okay, so with that being said, let's start by centering ourselves. We'll begin with this meditation on the breath. Start by finding your seat. Oh, sorry. Let's go through the invocation here. Aspirations. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. And with that, now we can settle in a little bit. Let's find a balanced, centered seat. You want to be really relaxed. You can have your eyes open, looking a few feet in front of you, or closed if you prefer. We're going to bring our attention to the breath soon, but first, as part of settling in, feel the support you have from the seat underneath you, from the earth itself, in fact. That you're seated over the center of the earth and have all its support. Feel also the support that your own body is providing you, primarily your skeleton, how that allows you to sit here straight. Hi guys, also just wanted to welcome. Everyone coming in? Okay. And feel also the support not only provided by your seat here as you settle in and your own skeleton, but also you can feel or imagine a channel of energy in front of your spine. And that too is supporting you here in this practice. So again, you're sitting comfortably, relaxed, balanced. Your back's not stiff, but straight. And bring your attention to your breath, to what it feels like as it comes in and out. You can put your focus at the tip of your nostrils, if you like. Where you can feel the temperature difference in the air as you inhale and exhale. If you prefer, you can put your attention at your chest or in your belly and just feel the whole process, the way your body moves when you breathe like this. There's no need to control how you're breathing. Just notice what it's like, what it feels like, and how it changes. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just bring your attention back to the point that you're observing for your breathing. And we'll do this for a few minutes. I know we have a couple new faces, so very happy to see everyone. And our next practice here is we're going to chant the syllable whom, whom, 2 times in one breath. We'll do this together. You do it at your own pace and pitch, volume. Here we go. If you'll bring your attention back to your breath. Again, settle in and just feel what it's like, the process of breathing, how you experience it. Again, pick a point to be focused on, maybe the tip of the nostrils, maybe in your chest or your belly. And again, when you're distracted or your mind wanders, bring your attention back to that point, gently. Let's bring ourselves back to the experience of breathing. What the in-breath is like and what the out-breath feels like, and what about in between on both sides? We're not conceptualizing it, thinking about it, we're just feeling it, experiencing it. Everyone feel free to stretch. And welcome. Glad to see new faces. Appreciate you guys coming out. If you want to do any intros, I'm Jason Cox. I'm one of the students here at Don Mountain that alternates for the Sunday meditation volunteer. And these are our primary teachers, Lama Rigzin and Lama Namyal. And if you guys felt like introducing yourself, we'd love to hear from you. Hi, Brendan. Nice to meet you. Hi, Angie. I'm Jaden. Hi, Adam. And everyone else, why not? Sure. Betsy.
Yes. And I'm Melanie.
Melanie.
Gabriel. So.
Everybody. Okay, so let's read briefly from this very short chapter. This is one of 108 chapters in this book, Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron. She's an accomplished teacher. And the chapter we're reading today is called Experience Your Life. A woman is running from tigers. She runs, and the tigers are getting closer and closer. She comes to the edge of a cliff. She sees a vine there, so she climbs down and holds on to it. Then she looks down and sees that there are tigers below her as well. And at the same time, she notices a little mouse gnawing away at the vine to which she is clinging. She also sees a beautiful little bunch of strawberries emerging from a nearby clump of grass. She looks up, she looks down, and she looks at the mouse, and she picks a strawberry, pops it in her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly. Tigers above, tigers below. This is the predicament we are always in. We are born, and sooner or later we die. Each moment is just what it is. Resentment, bitterness, and holding a grudge prevent us from seeing and hearing and tasting and delighting. This might be the only moment of our life. This might be the only strawberry we'll ever eat. We could feel depressed about this, or we could finally appreciate it. We could delight in the preciousness of every single moment. You know, it strikes me there are, treasures everywhere in our lives. You know, we have that phrase, stop and smell the roses, because people don't appreciate all the miracles that exist everywhere for us. Just the fact that we're fortunate enough to be in the situation we're in, to be healthy, to be human beings, to be able to appreciate things at all is itself almost miraculous. And besides the fact that there's things for us to appreciate everywhere, there's also an opportunity for us to share that delight everywhere. Most of the time we imagine maybe we have to do something in a grand gesture, but there's all kinds of small gifts we can bring people, whether it's a little toy or something like that, or even just a smile at the end of the day. Sometimes that's a great gift. I mean, even throwing away the garbage can be a gift to all the bacteria you're feeding. If you approach it with that kind of mindset, it becomes like that. It's sort of what we make of it. I wanted to open it up to discussion too. It's a brief and beautiful chapter. I'm sure there's some interesting insights. We've got a microphone here to pass around. And we've also, anyone online, feel free to chime in. Nancy there, it looks like.
I've read the story a lot, and the place where I get stuck is that I get really caught up in men looking for strawberries. And I'm still doing the same thing. It's like, I have to have strawberries. I have to have strawberries because everything else sucks. And it's really a weird place to get stuck on the littlest strawberries.
It's very insightful.
And what about when you, is this on? If I may.
No.
When you find a strawberry or two every now and then, how's that?
Well, the other day I found a little wooden puzzle that absolutely delighted me. And it was like a strawberry, little simple thing. And then I got all obsessed in finding more of them. So I think it's just an addiction to strawberries that really interferes with my enjoying strawberries.
Yeah, well observed.
I guess,
Ice cream cone.
oh, ice cream, is it working? Okay. I guess I found at my age, so many of my friends and family have passed away, and there's, and then so much of your life is behind you. And sometimes it's real easy to get into this, everything's lost, everything's, it's hard to accept the temporariness of everything. But sometimes if you can just say, okay, today this is like, look at this flower blooming here, or hey, I actually did buy some nice strawberries the other day that I could enjoy. And so I guess it's just trying to, I've heard this before, sometimes it's a challenge to don't focus on, don't be, wrapped up in what's gone, try to focus on what's left. That can be a challenge sometime. And I think you do have to grieve. I think that it's important to let yourself grieve. But on the other hand, I think sometimes just saying, okay, there's not, I don't have everything I used to, and I have aches and pains and health issues I didn't. But you know what? I can get in the car and go to Don Mountain this morning. So anyway.
Hello, I'm Melanie. I had a thought. So I was thinking the other night, I was taking my dogs for a walk, and a woman came up to me who was from India, actually, and she was talking to somebody on the phone who had a beagle like my beagle and riding along on the motorbike. She showed me the video and everything, and then we got real excited talking about beagles in India and everything, and it was just, I don't know, it was just really cool to have that encounter. And I just felt like that was a strawberry. It was an unexpected strawberry. I was just kind of out there with my beagle. And I just find that almost any kind of just small connection with people can really be a strawberry. And I think as long as I keep my heart open in each moment, there's always going to be a strawberry. So I don't know. That just occurred to me. Thanks. Do you want to share? I'm forcing you to
Are you heading it to me? Okay. Honestly, sometimes I say first thought, best thought. I love this Buddhist story. It's one of those that is so around. I've even heard it in King of the Hill. I'm not sure if anybody recognizes that, but there's an episode of King of the Hill that this story shows up in. I've seen it in cartoons, Western ones. And so this is one of those, almost like the moon and water being an illusion, that is like kind of like the Buddha's top hits story. So I love to hear it from Lama Chodron's perspective. And coming up with what Nancy was saying, and also Charlotte, I've been having the same thing where I've been having this back and forth between grief and gratitude. And I find that impermanence comes up a lot when thinking about the way that really intense gratitude, if not allowed to be impermanent, can turn to very intense grief. And then the very intense grief, if allowed to be impermanent, can turn into gratitude. They seem to have this flow between the two if allowed to be impermanent. But if we have this idea that no, my grief is forever, everything's behind me, I'm stuck, then it almost, you can feel how stuck, you can feel how the thing wants to change, and it creates this kind of weight and burden. So I've come to find that the more I've been dealing with these intense things, from losing family members to just realizing how ecstatic I am that my cats are healthy. Just look at you, you're in the right shape, all your organs are in the right shape, there's no lumps in there that would cause problems. Like that's incredibly gratitude, but that comes from knowing that someday they won't be in the right shape anymore, so to speak. And I find impermanence is very helpful to help that whole grief and gratitude process in the body. So.
I just want to share. I just came back from having breakfast with some friends, and we had tigers above our table. There were tigers everywhere around this table. But then I turn around, and in this coffee place, they have a huge picture of little George Washington. He used to be a blues singer here, a local blues singer. He was always drunk. He was homeless. And he always rode his bicycle, and he would jump to stages. He was very well known. He was like, "Hey, come on, come and play a song." And just to see he didn't have all the teeth on his mouth. So just to see his smile on the wall, it just made my day. I I'm radiating from that smile that I saw this morning. So thank you, little George Washington. I miss your music.
Oh, and if anyone else, we've got a prayer book that we're passing around here. If anyone else would like to put names in it, we'll be dedicating the merit of today's practice to all sentient beings, but especially those in the book, so.
So we read the names, that means we'll read the names of people you would like us to read the names of.
Oh, there you go.
It's not in attendance.
That's much more clear.
But you can put your name.
accidentally put my name in it because I was.
It's totally
It's okay.
fine.
That's fine.
I will appreciate prayers.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah. It's actually a good idea. Yeah, I've always felt when I've done it, I was like, yeah, it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Needed that.
I think an interesting challenge is to imagine what would it be like if everything were a strawberry. Pain, pleasure, neutrality. Our moments are all precious, and they're all vanishing. And the story is a bit dualistic because there are tigers who are clearly negative and the strawberries are clearly positive. But just an interesting challenge. What would it be like to actually be able to, in some interesting manner, relish even the tigers? I just throw that out. But
Yeah, thank you, Pema Chödrön. That's such a wonderful story. Just kind of bites you, right? Tigers everywhere? What did I come here for? Oh, there's a strawberry. You know, as you may or may not know, the reflecting on impermanence is a big process. It's a big topic in Buddhist practice, to become aware as the profound things that you have all observed, that the things we love don't last. And we encounter things that we don't love and we don't want, but here they are, and they also won't last. And this is really meant to be, as several of you have said, it, on the one hand, I thought where you were going to go, you went the opposite of where I was going to. When you said, what if everything were a strawberry? I thought you might say, then we would really find it difficult to be constantly grateful for strawberries. So, you know, your point, Gabriel, about there's something about gratitude that also yields, it's poignant, right? Grateful, you're a wonderful friendship, wonderful nothing will last. And how do we deal with that? Because it's just a fact. It's not something Buddha made up. It's kind of what happens. And so part of why we're here is to find ways of, at the very least, being grateful for the strawberries. You know, the smile, the person you meet on a walk unexpectedly. These things do happen in life, and they do light us up. Thomas Jefferson. Washington.
Little George
What?
Washington.
George Washington.
Little
sorry.
George Washington.
Yikes, I'm so out of it. But yes, you know, and it's kind of true that both of these things occur in our lives, things that bring us grief, things that delight us. And try to find balance in that is kind of what our practice was, we could say, about can you breathe and be aware of your breath no matter what? You're alive. There's some promise as long as we're alive. So that's kind of part of the waters that we negotiate as human beings and in terms of our practice. And that's one of the reasons we do this practice of observing our breath, just to find breath is always there. Tigers, strawberries, either way, you're breathing. You can come to some confidence of a certain kind of there-ness. You exist. Strawberries or tigers, you exist. And that's something sort of alive. And then, I don't know how you felt hearing the home for the first time, those of you who heard it for the first time, but for us, it's a way of, just uniting with that sound. Om. And in Buddhist understanding, it's actually the sound of an awakened mind. So it has a sacred element. And it's also a very well, I should ask you how you felt. You probably haven't done this before. Just kind of riding a wave, kind of. And it's another way of calming down and being in the present, which is very much of value for the way we see things. That makes sense? Anything you want to say about that? Ask about that? How was it saying home? Were you like, what are these guys doing? A little bit.
Okay.
Would you take the microphone? Thank you.
Yeah, it was really relaxing. Actually, I had a question about like the whole tigers and strawberries thing. So it seems like to me, you're like mentioning something about emotion. Is the goal just to have like a stable sort of like emotion where it's not so volatile, like going from, tiger to strawberry emotion, I guess?
I think rather you want to be familiar with what all the emotional states are like, and not be swept up with them quite as much, but
Okay.
be in a place where you can not only tolerate, but even come to accept those states, that they exist also.
Yeah, very.
Sometimes people feel that spiritual practice should be like a ironing board and everything should get flattened out. And sometimes there are teachers who actually present as pretty flattened out. And it's one kind of take on it all. But another is more like, can you become centered like the depth of the ocean? And on some occasions, there are tsunamis on the surface of the ocean, and some occasions the ocean is placid. But the depth of the ocean is just ongoing. So it's not flattening everything out, but it's allowing a kind of centering, appreciation, awareness, whether things are easy or things are difficult. So it's a kind of an interesting issue, because certainly a lot of people arrive at spirituality or seek spirituality because they want to just kind of flatten out the tough things in life and just have Disneyland. But you really can't do that. I mean, if you flatten out the tough things, you're also going to flatten out Disneyland. And there are ways of training the mind which allow whatever comes to come, experience it fully, but to have a kind of container, as it were, space and depth that allows all of these things to move through. It's a terrific question. Thank you for bringing it up. And there's a lot to talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah, just say also, I really appreciate your question. It's kind of very central to a lot of things in life and in what we could call Buddhist practice. And Jason's response, right on, we're not trying to deny that we have pain. That would be extreme. Well, we might want to deny it, but ultimately that just flattens us out. So, as you said, to be kind of ride what is there, but not like I'm going to die because I lost my keys, you know?
Hey, how did you know?
Because I've done it a lot. Every time I think that's it, I come back and I lose them again, you know? So, yeah, trying to help. I mean, I can also say from our own teachers, we've studied with some amazing teachers, thinking particularly of our Tibetan teachers. Really, we certainly regard them as, you know, very, very extraordinary human beings, very deeply realized in the sense of the Buddhist context, and they have hard lives, actually. And there's something, and they don't, you know, they will cry when people die. So they're not like steeled away from their feelings, but there's also, you just sense there's something else going on. You know, there's some kind of love, some kind of aliveness, hard to express, but something that we also seek in our practice. So it's a great question. It won't go away today. You know, we'll keep talking about it. And thank you for your response and great reading. I felt you really conveyed the the power of that particular story. You read it.
Thank you. Okay, well, let us close with another set of focus on our breath, alternating with chant.
If you don't mind, pick that up. Yeah, you can put it on the chair in front of you, or actually we're gonna, I don't know if we'll use it later. Thank you.
Okay. Remember, whatever is happening, you're not doing it wrong. Just bring your mind to bear on your breath at that point, and when it's distracted or wandered, just bring it back. Would one more time. What's it like? What does it feel like to breathe? Just experience it, not conceptually. Bless you. Bless you. Okay. We're going to close with something, the blessing from our prayer sheet here. And share the merit, actually. We'll share the merit first. So we'll be, this is also on this page, right?
Yeah, it should be on the page. It's also on
Oh, yeah, it's a dedication. It says dedication here. Okay. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. And today we dedicate the merit from our practice to all beings, and especially to
It's on the screen as well as on your sheet.
Sammy, Anna, Camachos, Andrew, Gina, Louis. We didn't sing it? Okay. No, I got things out of order. All right, we'll do the blessing. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And for real this time, we dedicate the merit to all beings, and especially to Sammy, Anna, Camachos, Andrew, Gina, Louis, Betha, Gaza, Biden, Toby, Bobby, Melissa, Tom and the Bardo, Melanie, Poppy, Krissa, Despina, Manos, Visonas, Melina, Eliphethesia, Deanna, Joyce, Victims of War, Employees of Summit and Viking, Brianna, Junebug, Dora and Juan Dorset, Roger, Namvo, Dent Gitchell, our Sangha, our teachers, Strawberries, Tigers, Anne Marie Kilday for Broken Leg, Ben, Pema, Jeffrey H., Marlena and family, Mike Roch, Noah Trenley, Michelle Hunter, Ken Goodrow, and Annie P. Well, thank you, everybody. Oh, yes, we're going to close with, we'll say the syllable "awe" together.
Feeling you're sending out good wishes and maybe even light from your heart to everyone in the room. Feeling like you're sending out good wishes, maybe even light from your heart to everyone in the room, to your own future self, to all beings everywhere. Ah, simple ah.
Yeah, we'll do some announcements. M.
So next Sunday will again be First Sunday. On First Sundays, we have a special teaching. The next 2 months are very exciting because Kai Koski is going to talk to us about eco-dharma. Last year when she talked about this, she had spent at least a month in the Arctic filming reindeer, and she discussed learning Dharma from the reindeer. And so we're really excited to see what she has for this next topic. We'll also have lunch if you're here in person for that first Sunday. Teaching Tuesday continues this coming Tuesday. This series has been really good because it's previously untranslated stories about teachers in our lineage and learning the Buddhist lesson from these stories rather than just like a discussion or teaching. And then on September 8th, we have a welcome event. If you want to know a little bit about what we do at Dawn Mountain, that's a 1-hour free event we have where you can hear from our lamas. Anything else, lamas? Think we covered it for now. Okay, thank you. Great. Thank you. Bye.
Dharma talk, I don't know. The talk next first Sunday is 10:30. So first Sundays, we always have a talk at 10:30 and then the usual 11 to 12 like we have today. And also, as Emily said, on first Sundays, we have lunch. And what she didn't say is, it's really good. Because she's one of the people who cooks for it, and so does Sarah. And it turns out we have really good cooks here. Sorry. Qigong. Oh, Gabriel.
Yeah, so I'm Gabriel. I've been a student on Mountain for a little while, and I also teach Qigong, which is a type of kind of internal and external exercise, nice and easy on the body. And we do it every Sunday in person here in Dawn Mountain to kind of prepare for our longer sits. So it's a great way to get circulation in your legs, do a little bit of internal work to help prepare for meditation once a week. So we do that at 10 on normal Sundays and 9:30 on first Sundays. So thank you.
Do we leave anything out we'd like to invite you to? Yeah, so this Tuesday is the first Tuesday, and you're welcome to try it out.
Sorry, I turned it on.
This Tuesday is, as I said, the first Tuesday, and the series has been great so far. As Emily said, stories, Nathaniel, who is leading the discussion, as well as Lama Namgyal, is a great storyteller. I think you'll enjoy it, and also always there's a little bit of meditation.
Full disclosure, Nathaniel has been telling stories. If you're really interested in that, listen to the last two teachings. I'm going to be doing some very basic experiential exercises and teachings, which are very, very important for understanding ourselves.
A little bit like we did today. Something you can definitely follow, even if you're a first timer, and it's valuable in our experience. So you're welcome to that. If you have questions, let us know.
So welcome, everybody. Wonderful to see everybody.
Great to see you online. Mac, have we seen you before? Mark? Who's that? Good to see you.
Mark Cooper.
Hey, Don. Nancy, always wonderful. Who's that in the dark? O'Neill, hi. And Charlie. Yeah, good to see you all. We have some snacks, I think, for those who are in the room.
Take care, everybody. Have a
Be well.
wonderful
See you
Sunday.
again.
Thank you.
We're here to chat a little bit if you'd like.